Hello and welcome back to Up the Archer. I'm Neve Davis and today I'm joined with
Will Richards.
And we have a very big festive edition of Up the Archer. It's Merry Clashmas.
It is, that's right, Neve. One of the most highly anticipated dates in the Cardiff Met sporting calendar returns, which means only one thing, Cardiff Clash is back.
Yes, so up on today's show, we have an action-packed festive things coming up. So we have the biggest fixture, obviously, on the calendar, Cardiff Clash. We'll also be looking at the Ilona Maher effect at King Coed with Cookie. And it's not just rugby we'll be speaking about, but we'll also be looking at the tennis progress tour. So we've actually got a lot of things coming up, including a TikTok battle where we've been making some TikToks this week and we're going to see whose is the best.
Well, that's right, it's an action-packed episode today, but what I really want to focus on is that Cardiff Clash. Cardiff Met take on Cardiff Uni down at Arms Park, and here's what we can expect.
He's not quite quick enough to get there. Oh, but he is! The comeback of all comebacks.
In Cardiff's heart, where the rivers meet, a clash of passion stirs the street. Not of anger, nor of spite, but spirit shining, pure and bright. Beneath the glow of festive cheer, a rugby game draws hearts sincere. Cardiff Met and Uni stand, two proud teams on winter's land. The whistle pierced the icy air, a call to battle, a test so rare. The archers charge with power and pride, their hearts ablaze, no fear inside. But through the clash, the mud, the strain, a greater truth begins to reign. For in the struggle a bond takes form, a brotherhood forged in the eye of the storm. The crowd erupts with every try, cheers that reach the heavens high. Yet woven through the chants and cries is a story told by Christmas skies. But deeper still than muscle and bone, a truth was carved, an anthem sown. For as they fought, they bore the creed to play for more than pride or need. In maroon the echoes of brotherhood rang, of lessons learned and songs that sang. Each pass a symbol, each try a prayer, a love for the game beyond compare. The final whistle splits the air, and though one team may claim it there, both rise together, heads held high, under the watch of a starry sky. For in this clash of red and maroon, a timeless truth is born anew, that Christmas lives where hearts unite, and peace is found in the fiercest fight.
So we hope you've got your tickets and to see you down at Arms Park later on. But if you haven't, always remember that you can watch Cardiff Clash on the BUCS Super Rugby YouTube channel. Now, we're joined with no stranger to Clash, which is our very own archer, Katie Carr.
Hello, hiya.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So you're actually 5th year now at Cardiff Met and you're studying sports psychology, is that right?
Yeah.
So how many clashes have you competed in?
This would be my 3rd clash. I missed out on the one at the start of the season because I was out in South Africa. So yeah.
What were you doing in South Africa?
I was
Tell everyone.
in with Wales. So Wales went out for the WXV and I was up with them, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And some big news is that you're captain today in today's team. Are you looking forward to it? Are you nervous?
I am. Not nervous yet. I tend to get nervous about 5-10 minutes before the game, but at the minute I'm quite chill, quite excited just to go.
And what sort of games does the Cardiff Clash mean to you? Like, how come they're bigger? Why is it important to win these games, especially down at Arms Park as well?
I think because, well, Cardiff Met, Cardiff Uni, the only Welsh teams in the BUCS Super League, so it's really exciting to actually, put on a performance against them. And in Arms Park, next to the Principality Stadium, is quite special.
Yeah.
Not like Rugby One. I mean, Rugby One is our fortress, so we enjoy playing there, but it's another special occasion.
Is that quite? Oh, sorry, Neve. Is that quite inspiring for a lot of the girls then to play in a venue like that as well?
I'd say so. Yeah, it's where Wales play their home games as well, so it gives the girls a feel of what the environment would be like if they were to go international. Yeah, it is quite special.
So I bet there's been a lot of prep going in. How has the training in the gym been?
Good, yeah, so we're on our new programme now. I think we're in our second week of our new block. All the girls are loving it, yeah, really good.
Well, you can see looking very good in the gym there, a lot of hard work being done. What sort of things do you really work on in the gym?
Mainly our explosive power, so we do our squats, our bench presses. We're in like limited reps of them at the minute, just focus on building our strength up, yeah.
You're looking really strong in the gym. Do you feel like you're the best prepared you've been in a while? Or
I'd say so, yeah. I think all the girls would agree with me. Our numbers are going up in the gym. I mean, the new facilities are great as well.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely amazing.
100%. And then, obviously, we've seen there how hard it is in the gym, but on the pitch, how has preparation been pitch side? Obviously, without giving too much away.
It's been positive. We've got a few new girls who have stepped up from the twos who are making their WBSR debuts today. So, yeah, it's good. Preparation's gone well.
Yeah, so even though Cardiff Clash is the biggest fixture in our Met sporting calendar, there's actually been bigger news that Ilona Maher has actually signed in an English Premiership team, and the buzz is all around campus. So let's take a look at the Ilona Maher effect at Kincoid.
When I first watched her play, I was like, oh God, she's a beast. I'm glad she's on my team.
When Ilona Maher started gaining popularity, and so that's when I kind of started hearing about what rugby was, and I turned to my dad and I said, maybe I should try rugby, and he's like, I think you should.
It makes me quite excited that I'll mention her, people know who she is, because I love her message. I love how she tells you can be who you are, any body type.
She's so cool. She's so strong, confident, and not even just rugby, just women body positivity.
We say we're just passing through the jersey and making the jersey better, and that's always been my goal, to make this jersey better, not just for me, but for the other girls who are going to come into the program. And I want them to dream of being professional rugby players, professional athletes.
I think it's really important that girls can see that they can play a physical sport like this.
I think it brings a lot of attention and a lot of eyes to it. Not only that, but it brings a bit of funding.
And then you see that the women have won on an international stage, and that the U.S. women's team should be taken seriously.
I think that just attention is being brought, and I hope that has more people playing, so we have the numbers to go forward and continue just growing and loving this game.
Especially in this social media day and age, that as the players gain their own following, therefore rugby gains more following.
Did you see she caught a flight today to England? I've heard that she's either playing for Bristol Bears or Gloucester Hartpury, but we're nobody's sure yet.
I heard this was bear country, but there are actually bears here. Because I don't know are grizzly bears the nice ones? What about black bears are the mean ones, right? No one knows? Okay.
It doesn't feel real. It's oh my God, one of my idols is playing, and I practiced there a week before. And I don't know, it's just so cool.
It feels great for another American to be coming over here.
Hopefully I'm able to go back and practice with them a little bit, just so I can maybe meet her, because that would be so cool.
If I could get any words out, I think I would tell her that she's the one that inspired me to start playing rugby, and I am over here at Cardiff Met playing rugby because of her and how she's inspired young girls across America.
How do you do it? Because I want that confidence. She just shines just naturally, whether she's on the pitch or off. She just has this radiating confidence, and I guess, that's all.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot of excitement from everybody surrounding that announcement and that signing as well, and I cannot personally wait for her to get started. But okay, so what I want to know is, we've seen her impact across the pond. What sort of impact do you think she can have over here in England?
Well, as you can see, the numbers of the Bristol Bears following has grown massively already. They've sold out one of the stadiums, so they've had to move to a different stadium.
Yeah.
It's only going to increase women's rugby, and it's only going to be a positive thing.
Do you think the signings may be considered more for that side of the game, more for the publicity, or do you think it's a bit of both, more as well her technical ability? But
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think she's only signed like a 3-month contract. Like, we know her goal is to get to the World Cup, and she has to play 15s to get to the World Cup. So I think it's probably a bit of both. And I mean, there's no harm in that. Like, she's only improving the women's game here and in England. Like, it's a positive either way you look at it.
Do you think that's the main reason she's made the switch to like make it into the World Cup and make a bigger name for herself, which obviously like impacts like other younger females and things? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think, well, she's said out loud that she wants to be in the World Cup and she has to play 15s for that. She's predominantly a sevens player. So I think in America there's not much competition for the 15s game, whereas in Wales, England is a massive competition here. So I think coming to England, to Bristol Bears, is going to further her development.
And with sevens, obviously it's a very different game to 15s. What sort of challenges do you think she's going to face preparing herself to actually get into that 15 side?
I think there's so much less space on the pitch as a 15s player than there is for sevens. Her dominance and her carries and her power will still be so beneficial in the 15s game, but it's just being aware that maybe she's going to be a different type of ball player or ball carrier in the 15s than she will be for the sevens.
Yes, so as we've said, massive buzz on Kincoid campus. We're seeing loads of American players and we can't wait to see some of them in action today over a clash, one of them being Elizabeth Cook.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Elizabeth Cook on campus.
I'm Cookie, I'm 19 and I play tight head prop for the Cardiff Met Women's RFC. So when I was younger, I was a very active, energetic child, and I grew up in a very athletic home. I was put into really any sport, from football or soccer to like gymnastics and dance, and I think that I was a very wild card child. I liked doing a lot of creative things, but I was also just very athletic and loved sport in general. I think that the main thing that's made me fall in love with rugby was the culture and how you can hit the absolute heck out of each other on the field and then you can be best friends with them for really the rest of your life. There's so many opportunities that come with it, and I've met so many people from everywhere and they are some of my closest friends. The first time I heard about it was when EC committed to coming here, and I look up to her a lot. She was my captain for my high school team, and I wanted to really just be like her. So I was like, ooh, that's going to be something I want to do. And then in 2022, I went to Ireland with ERA, Eagle Impact Rugby Academy, and there was a coach, Di Morgan, and he expressed a lot of interest in me and met, and he expressed a lot of interest in me checking it out and really pursuing it. So I came and visited the following fall and really fell for it. I was like, this is where I want to be. I think a couple of different things. Definitely very different with just how normal rugby is here. I don't know how else to express that, just because I think it's just very different from America. You can walk up to anybody and they'll know what it is, or likely have played it at some point in their life. And I think that's just really cool. And then socially, the staff, the girls, our coaches, everybody is just incredible. I have so much love for this team and this program in general at Met. If you want to experience a completely different just culture and way of life, both in rugby and out of it, this is definitely it. The rugby culture here is unlike anything I've ever experienced, so I think that it's an experience that should be shared. Be an archer.
Yeah, so it's amazing seeing the girls in action there, and lovely to speak to Katie as well, especially on a high pressure day.
100%, and we wish her all the best this afternoon in her fixture against Cardiff Uni as well. I believe Will Shepherd is down pitch side at Arms Park. I think we can go to Will now. Well, Will, what's going on down there?
Welcome to a very chilly Cardiff Arms Park. We would encourage anyone that is coming down to support the Archers tonight to wrap up warm in their Christmas jumpers. Although I dare say that the Ultras will probably find a more liquid solution to staying warm in the stands. Speaking of the stands, this is a Cardiff Met home game and we are expecting record numbers of supporters to come down and cheer on their two teams. It's a double header. The women are playing at 4 p.m, the men then kick off at 7 p.m. The women won this fixture early in September 57-0. They left absolutely nothing on the park and will be looking for more of the same today, although there are a lot of changes in the side. Katie Carr is captaining from loosehead prop. One of the other ever-presents from last week on the tight head side is Elizabeth Cook, who you just saw in the Ilona Maher VT. Big performance from her today, I'm sure. The second rows, there's a change of personnel, but the same second names. Orla Davis and Paige Jones are in, Erin Jones and Robin Davis out. Isla Craig comes in for Seren Singleton at number 9, with Nicole Marlowe coming in at 10, meaning Freya Bell moves to 12. The men won their fixture 41-7 in September. Ben Murphy still captains from that one, but we've got some changes in the back row compared to last week. Liam Jones is in at 6, with Moore moving to open side. Noardal Yallop at 8 means Will Owen comes in there. Steph Crimp, he is fully recovered from injury now, so he moves from 15 to 10, with Vikas Meyer dropping to the bench. And the also fully recovered Josh Carrington comes back in at 15 with that change in the back line. Remember, in this fixture last year, he scored a stunning try off a kick pass from Steph Crimp, so we are hoping for more of the same on this occasion. We'll be joined in just about 20 minutes by Gareth Baber, Director of Rugby Systems at Cardiff Met, so I do hope you'll join us for that chat and then follow along on the BUCS live stream if you can't make it down to the ground.
Leo, little Mo with the gimpy leg, Cheeks, Bony Bob, Cliff. I could go on forever, baby.
We're looking for a young man.
I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
I love you.
1, 2. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
God, that must have been a tough watch for Cardiff Uni. Got to be rinsed there, Will.
I know, definitely. They've not been in the best form at these Cardiff clashes, have they? I can't actually remember the last time they won a game.
No.
So, yeah, hopefully it's more of the same this evening for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, do you reckon there'll be any festivities going on? Any Christmas hats about in the stadium?
I think the Christmas spirit is all around us, as you can see in the studio. We're getting ready in the festive season, and I think there'll be a lot of fancy dress. We know the Ultras, especially down with the Cardiff Met team, like any chance to dress up as well. And as you can see, those little TikToks that have been made, what's going on with those, Neve?
Well, there's actually been a competition over on TikTok, well, on the Cardiff Met Sport TV Instagram, where we're voting, where you can all vote for which TikTok you think is going to be the best out of all 3 that we'll be showing today. Now, that one was actually Home Alone linked. Good, big fan of Home Alone?
I am. I'm a massive fan of Home Alone. I think Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, I think that's for me is my number 1 Home Alone film. But you can't go wrong with the original, can you?
No, you can't. And there's a lot of singing in Home Alone, choir related. And actually, we have our own angelic voices over on our campus. And I can't wait to show you what they got up to this week.
Page 3, gentlemen. Hymn number 1.
Well, if this was Britain's Got Talent, my golden buzzer would have been pressed. If it was The Voice, my chair would have spun around. That was absolutely delightful singing there. And remember to go to the Cardiff Met Sport TV Instagram channel, where you can vote for your favourite as well.
Yeah, of course, and I hope to hear some of those chants during the men's match today. So let's take a look at the last time the men's Cardiff Met rugby team played Cardiff Uni at Cardiff Clash.
With a croeso to Cardiff Arms Park on a crisp autumn evening that sees the grand old stadium play host to the Cardiff Clash. Cardiff Uni beat Cardiff Met. There are few bigger nights for the nation's capital than this, and the students of the city are out in full force. As we still await the opening score.
They've shifted out now, but that was an interesting formation from the Archer backs.
The long pass, and it is going to be the opening score. Dylan Scott over on the right-hand side, and Cardiff Met with the early lead.
Yeah, lovely try, great start for Cardiff Met. I think maybe possibly that strange formation I mentioned might have confused the Cardiff defence then. As soon as they shifted out, it was a simple enough pass out to the wing.
On his back, we will try and bring that to you as soon as we can do, as Cardiff Met have an attacking line out, 5 metres out and a man advantage, and it pays immediately inside Cardiff University's half. And we go in with 5 in the line. Quick ball off the top. Crimp involved as second receiver that time, Carrington. And on over to the left wing. Good run from Dylan Scott, and an even stronger one here. It will be Cardiff Met's 3rd try of the night.
In these kind of positions all game, he's out wide at the moment, but don't be surprised if we see Cardiff put him back in the middle again and look to run the ball with him.
And again, they go straight off the back, and it has worked for them. Oliver Sterling. Out now to Carrington, who's on the wing. Looks like he has moved to the wing with Maher perhaps taking up the position at fullback. And it is Maher who puts in the kick to Kerwin, who's perfectly placed to take it. Wow. And he's going to weave his way to the line for an incredibly popular score here at the Arms Park. We talked about here in Cardiff Uni supporters earlier on, but all the noise there coming from Cardiff Met students. Kerwin with a beautiful try.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, but how quickly can this Cardiff Met team just switch the play between both wings? Carrington on this side, the initial carry up the middle, and then they whip the ball out. It's a beautiful kick over the top.
No, not as much for Cardiff Met to build on if they're scoring against 14 players. They will want to be doing it against a full complement as they rampage up towards the line there. The pick and go.
Excellent tackle.
He was over the line, but the ball was not. And held up there, it's Sterling once again involved for Cardiff University.
He's been impressive.
Round the corner. He certainly has. Still short of the line of the Archers. They go over the top this time, and that will be an excellent try for Mike Hansen. Another who has been involved with the Netherlands setup, the under-20s level. And an opportunity to get a win like this in front of your home supporters really means that around campus, these boys, they're going to be recognised, just like the girls earlier after that 57-0 win. It's going to get the rest of the university behind them as we see Chris Johnson running for what is an incredibly richly deserved try. Maher knows time is up, turns around and kicks it back over his own goal line. A famous win, notched up once again for Cardiff Met. 41-7 for the men over Cardiff University here at the Cardiff Clash.
There you go. So Cardiff Met absolutely smashed it last time we were at Clash. And I'm hoping that they can do it again. But someone who might give us a better insight is our guest today, Liam Jones. Liam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about Clash tonight?
Yeah, I think it's pretty even throughout the boys. We're all a bit nervous, but the excitement just overtakes the nerves, I think. So we're pretty keen for tonight.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And then with Met's game specifically, obviously a focus on the wide carriers, how important are they to the game today in order to win?
Was that the ultras?
The wide carriers, when you get out the ball out wide on...
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So they've been crucial throughout the whole season. We have rapid wingers. That's been a big work on for us. Even from the last Clash, working throughout the games in the analyst sessions is our counter-attack. So they have a massive role for today's game. With our 15 and our wingers, they're kind of like our key boys to get the ball to, so it's always work to an edge. So once they got ball in hand, I think the crowd will have something to shout about. So we're excited to get the ball in their hands.
And you mentioned the crowd there. Just how important are the ultras to your performance, and how much more of an impact will they have down at Arms Park?
Yeah, well, I think just the statistics of the tickets stand out. You know, it's a sellout. And I think about 60% of them will be ultras. So there'll be a boost, there'll be a wind. There'll be the wind behind us throughout the game. They've been with us throughout the season. When we lose in, you know, we can always still hear them behind us. So for today, I think they started pretty early. They're going to be together for the women's game before us, so they're going to be pretty riled up, and I'll have no doubt that they'll boost us through the warm-up, and they'll give us the confidence we need to deliver a good performance.
So
once we're out there.
Yeah, definitely. So during the last Clash, a massive impact was made by the front power pack. How do you think they're going to do it again today?
Yeah, you know, we've worked on the units pretty heavy this week, and how we kind of whittled how their defence kind of works, whether that's a ruck or a scrum. So we've kind of put our big heavy hitters or big heavy intruders in the middle of the park. Mm-hmm. So anything that's slow, or if you see anything that's that shouldn't be happening in a high body position, then you know we've been given the green card from the coaches just to rifle through and just make our presence known. So you know, as I mentioned with the wide players, I think we have just as much a important role to get our jobs done in the middle of the park to make sure that they can provide what we need to the end. So it's equal throughout the team. We're all on the same page at the minute. So. The power boys know what they have to do, and the speedsters know what they have to do. So I think we're going to gel together well tonight. So I'm excited.
And are there any specific players that kind of stand out, or for anyone watching they should keep their eye
on? Yeah, you know, we have a few individuals. For start, our skipper Ben Murphy. He's a bit of a powerhouse himself. He stood out throughout his whole seasons in Met. I think it's his third year, so it's his last Clash. Yeah. So he's going to have a pretty good front foot forward today. Ollie Smith is another one. He's a good leader.
Yeah.
Same as Gareth and Cannon. They're kind of our main line-out options. We have a very good fullback, as you know, Josh Carrington. Again, I think the whole team, we're a very good team. We gel together by good individuals. But I think the team performance will just out-whittle the individuals tonight.
And I know you mentioned Ben Murphy there. This is his last Cardiff Clash.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a number of other boys leaving as well. Are you sort of playing for them to send them off on a high? Does that impact your game in any way?
Yeah, so there's been a conversation throughout the week of how many boys last Clash there is. So I think there's maybe a 10 or 11 boys involved. They're in third year, so it's their last year. So it's kind of it's not a send-off as such. It's not the last game. Yeah, we've still got plans for after this game, but it's definitely a good statement for them and how much respect they have for the club is to just put their front foot forward for today's game.
Well, we can see how much you gel well as a team, obviously over a Rugby 1, but do you feel like you work better at Arms Park when there's all the pressure from the crowd and everything? How do you feel?
I think that we're a good team of absorbing what's around us. So obviously the Clash is a big occasion, and there's kind of two ways to approach that. So I think as a team, I think we absorb the atmosphere well. We're very lucky to have, probably the best supporters in the BUCS League.
Yeah, definitely. Huge.
So we absorb them very well. We absorb our game plan very well, and I think that's the occasion of the Arms Park. Just boosts us, just gives us boost to give levels that we might not reach on Rugby 1, but definitely reach on the Arms Park. So it was a good level of excitement throughout.
Well, a massive good luck, and we can't wait to watch you and find out the result later.
Thank you.
So we've had a very rugby-heavy show so far, but it's not just rugby that goes on at King Coed, there's also some tennis news. So let's take a look at the UTR tournament.
I played 4 tournaments before this one. That was my preparation. And also I was a little bit sick last week. I think, I don't know if it was cold or flu, but I wasn't feeling really well, to be honest. So even coming here, I wasn't sure if I'm going to be able to play all of the matches. But day by day, I was feeling better and better. Apparently, Welsh weather was helping me to recover. Oh yeah, I love the tournament. I think I am not allowed to say it, but this was my favorite UTR. And we also have couple in Czech, but to be honest, this was the best. I think everyone should learn from you because I really felt amazing here, and especially you students who did a great job here, and everyone, the organizers, physio, Billy. So I really enjoyed the tournament, and I hope I will be coming back.
Well, it's fantastic to see pro tennis here on King Coed campus, and congratulations to Anita. She managed to pick herself up $3,600, and that's not too bad, is it, Eve?
Not too shabby.
Could definitely go into my pocket this year, especially in time for Christmas as well.
Oh, I know.
I do want to get this right, so forgive me if I look at my notes, but the Progress Tour showcases some of the best talent in tennis, and it is returning back to King Coed early 2025. I'm delighted to say as well, to keep the tennis theme going, we're joined here by Evan Kennedy, a BUCS player and coach. Evan, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. Thanks for having me.
So firstly, how did you get into coaching tennis? Was it always something you kind of wanted to do, or did you sort of kind of just slowly transition into that space?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I've played for years. It's been my life since I can remember, really. But yeah, I tried to go professional. It didn't quite work out, so I ended up in the coaching space, and yeah, I love it now. Yeah, involved in the BUCS teams here and clubs outside as well. So yeah, it was a fairly smooth and obvious transition for me, I suppose.
And you mentioned there you obviously didn't just manage to make it pro, but how does that kind of transition work going for a tennis player? Is it just got to compete in tournaments, up the rankings, or if you could just kind of briefly explain that to everyone?
Yeah, it's a tricky process. There's lots of levels to the pro sport, and what do you call pro sport? Are you making a living doing it? Are you playing the professional tournaments? So yeah, I played the first stage of what pro tennis is. I played on the lowest level of the tour for a few years, and try. Yeah, you have to get loads of points. You're not making sort of any money. That's why this sort of UTR pro event are fantastic. I didn't have those when I was trying to do it. So yeah, it's a lot of money that you have to spend and lose as well. And you do it on your own a lot, so it's quite tough. But yeah, that was where I sort of stopped really playing sort of professionally, I suppose, because I wasn't making any money and it was just a loss constantly. And it's quite tough mentally, but I loved it. It was great.
Would you say then tennis is quite like a lonely sport? And obviously with those mental challenges that you said you faced, how did you kind of deal with those setbacks and pick yourself up to keep going?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I did really, because I could have carried on maybe for a little bit longer, but yeah, I just didn't have much left in me to give, I suppose. I started sort of disliking the sport a little bit for a bit. I don't anymore. I love it again, but yeah, it is very lonely. Of course, you have to, if you go to tournaments, you probably have to do it on your own because you're paying for yourself, and then if you take a coach, it's double the price, which most people don't have the first bit in the first place, right? So yeah, it's tough, it's lonely, you lose, you get on a flight home on your own or to the next tournament on your own. Even on the court, I mean, yeah, famously you're on your own, which is quite rare. Like, there's not many sports out there that you do on your own. So yeah, it's lonely, but it also means the other side to that is that you learn so much about yourself and you develop yourself personally, like incredibly. So yeah, there's good and bad to everything.
Yeah. And you said about like personal development and growth. What comes after university for like these university tennis players? What's their like next steps after?
Yeah, I suppose it depends what you did in your degree and whether you want to stay in tennis or not. So for me, I finished my undergrad last year. I'm now a head coach at a local tennis club, so I'm staying in tennis now for the near future at least. So yeah, I'm not sure. It depends, I suppose, what you want to do and whether you want to keep playing. But UTR Pro Events is a great way to keep playing as well after university. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We've really enjoyed hearing about it.
Very insightful conversation as well.
Yeah, so tennis is very competitive, but someone who's also competitive is our course mates at the Sports Broadcasting Masters. Let's take a look at the final TikTok of the tournament of TikTok, should we say.
Okay, people, Wednesday the 11th at 7 o'clock, Cardiff Arms Park, Clash is coming!
There you go. So another fantastic TikTok.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's always a good one with us. So let's take a look at some of the BUCS fixtures that's been going on this week and today. And someone that we have with us is our BUCS correspondent for the show, Aled Hopkins.
Hello.
Aled, how are we?
Good, very good. It's very cold out there. I've been around the grounds slightly this morning. Having to put my big coat on and my hat, but it's all good.
We can't relate.
We've been cozied
nice
up in the studio, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us, maybe let's start with the women's football. What's been going on?
Women's football's twos. They were playing Gloucestershire ones earlier. Unfortunately, they were losing 4-0 when we left that game, but good passages of play from them. They just got hit on the counter a little bit, and obviously playing a first team, it's always going to be tough, but encouraging signs for them. Other than that, we have had men's tennis against Swansea today.
They Welsh derby, that one.
We've got men's tennis, badminton, and some of the netball girls playing Swansea today. So lots of games involving Swansea. The men's tennis were losing again, unfortunately, but again playing against the first team, so it's always going to be a bit difficult. We are a little bit obviously building up to the clash tonight. We're a little bit light on sport on campus this week. There's plenty going on, but
that's fine.
It's a little bit quieter than usual.
It's Christmas. Everyone's like quieting down.
Exactly.
It's not all going on as it has been in previous weeks.
We do have our netball team, first team, away at Bath today. They've just started at 1 p.m. So it was quite a heavy loss at home a couple of weeks ago to Bath. So hopefully they can go up there and turn the odds on that game. But of course we're all looking forward to Clash tonight, aren't we?
Well, yeah, it's not been the best fixtures. It sounds like not the best results. But
losing theme to continue this afternoon.
Nobody won't, because last time we competed in Cardiff Clash, we absolutely smashed them.
We did. We do have women's basketball as well. The second team tipping off at 4:15 tonight in the Archers Arena against the University of West of England. And slightly away from BUCS as well, we do have the Condor Indoor Premier League cricket taking place. That one started a few weeks ago. That one's on Saturday. Some matches today because of the storm on the weekend that's delayed fixtures. But if you want to get your cricket fix in the winter without getting up at 3 a.m. to watch England, get down to the indoor league at Cardiff Met.
There you go. Get down to Cardiff Met for cricket and get down to Arms Park like Will Shepherd for the Cardiff Clash updates. Will? Thanks for that.
As promised, we are joined by Cardiff Met's Director of Rugby Systems, Gareth Baber. Thank you for joining us, Gareth. And a busy day for you today, not only involved the two sides, but you've also got a talk before kick-off.
Yeah, just an opportunity really, I suppose, to share some of the experiences I've had, certainly along my coaching career around sort of high performance cultures, and obviously lends itself to this evening as well, both teams wanting to sort of replicate that when they come out on the field. But yeah, doing it with some stakeholder sponsors, partners of Cardiff Met University, so really looking to take this opportunity of a great event here this evening to promote that.
And then, of course, moving on to the matches themselves, the women won 57-0 in September. Lots of changes today. How do they make sure that they keep the same levels of performance that they managed a few months ago?
Well, there's been a lot of changes in women's rugby, and certainly obviously things are moving quite sharply. You've got the advent of the Celtic Challenge, which is a number of the girls playoff obviously from Cardiff Met will be involved in and are moving through with that squad. But equally it creates a great opportunity for players that potentially haven't had a lot of game time this year to start stepping up into those positions. And it's a slightly different message. It's around, the challenger opportunities for those girls to step into those positions, experience Cardiff Arms Park, experience a clash. There'll be 5,500, 6,000 people here, and some of those players have never played in front of those groups before. So a real positive for us in terms of the programme that we're advancing, and from a men's perspective as well. Obviously, we had it our way in the previous challenge game, but we've got to do the same this evening.
And then the men, they won 41-7 the last time we had the clash, but we often know that form goes out the window when it's a grudge match like this one. So how do they make sure that they don't allow Cardiff Uni, who are a few rungs below them on the ladder in BUCS at the moment, to spring a surprise tonight?
Yeah, it'd be no secret that a lot of it is around focusing on yourselves and understanding what makes you good and when you are good, and that you've got to play to those levels again. There's bits within the game that you've got to concentrate and focus and coach, and we're going down that line, and we know that we beat them well in the first game and probably played some of our best stuff we have this season, but in fits and starts we've produced that again in other games. But tonight will be around handling the occasion, the event that it is, but equally then how can we replicate that performance and understand what it is we need to get right, consistently over 80 minutes.
Thank you very much for joining us, Gareth. We'll let you get off to your busy day, and good luck in the matches tonight. If you could hand the mic over. We're joined by Joe Burns, who'll be a familiar face and voice to those of you that follow BUCS Super Rugby. Joe, a huge occasion tonight for both universities. I think you've seen a little bit more of Met this season. How do you feel their form is, both in the women's and the men's, coming into tonight?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Very excited. It's always good to be down in the diff for the clash. It's like one of the biggest and the best, isn't it, in terms of that vibe in the stadium. I think in terms of Cardiff Met, it's really important that they get a victory today at home, as it were, in Cardiff, because they haven't had that fortress at Kincoid this season. But I was impressed with what they brought against Hartbury. I really like Josh Carrington at fullback, and Steph Crimp is a very exciting young 10 who really brings kind of a lot of unpredictability in a good way. There's going to be a few guys missing, like Ardal Yallop, which is going to be a loss, but certainly I think you alluded to there with Babs that Cardiff, when it comes to the clash, they elevate their game, and I'd be surprised if you saw a replica of the scorecard from last time, because while they've had a few tough losses throughout the season, I think they've been well in games, and they've kind of lost their way a little bit in the latter stages. I think put full 80 together, it could be good for Cardiff.
Well, thank you very much, Joe, for that insight. You're going to be on the mic for the games and presenting them for the BUCS live stream. As I said earlier, anyone who can't make it down to the ground, we do hope you'll join on the BUCS live stream to support the Archers all the way.
It's looking like it's all kicking off down there, getting ready to go. And just a reminder that the women's match kicks off at 4 and the men's match kicks off at 7. And like Will said, is that you can always check it out on the BUCS Super Rugby YouTube channel. Now, we've obviously watched the 3 TikToks, Will. Do you want to tell everyone what they can do?
So, if you want to vote on those TikToks, please go to Cardiff Met Sport TV Instagram and then cast your vote via the stories over there.
Yeah.
I think it's three very tough options, to be honest, Neve. Which one was your favourite?
Oh, definitely Choir Clash, Voices of Angels.
I think that's my one as well, to be honest.
Yeah, there you go. We've decided our winner.
Yeah, you can decide yours as well.
So just to wrap up a festive show, we're going to be finding out what happens with all the students at Kincoid, how they celebrate Christmas. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to all the crew, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.
We've been going around Kincoid campus asking students what they do on Clashmas.
Get up first thing, have coffee, set the tone for the day, and then coach the ones this afternoon, and then watch the girls play, and then watch the boys this evening then.
So 5 a.m. we wake up, have a couple in the kitchen, 8 a.m. breakfast, about 9 o'clock more beers, and then beers for breakfast. A couple sausages. Yep.
Woke up, had some breakfast, watching the rugby, and then gonna play, and then probably go out later.
Yeah, watch the boys and go out.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you dressing up as anything tonight?
No, wearing Christmas jumpers.
Thank you.
After with Strong Becky from K1, watch the BUCS Falls, play rugby, and then go to Nando's, fuel up for the clash, and then go to the pub about like 4 or something like that, just to get ready for the big game ahead.